here to present you a case study on socioeconomic implications in Alzheimer's disease diagnosis and management. The diagnosis and care of dementia and Alzheimer's disease in Latin America face many challenges related to socioeconomic issues that occur in the continent. Within this context, I would like to share with you this case study. This is Mrs. S. The major feature I would like to highlight here is the low educational level of this lady, which may pose some difficulties when defining a specific diagnosis. In relation to her assessments or clinical assessments, physical and neurological examinations were unremarkable. Mrs. S scored 27 out of 30 points in the mini-mental state examination. She missed 1 point in temporal orientation, 1 in spatial orientation, and 1 point in word recall. In the functional activities questionnaire, she scored 3 out of 30 points. The higher the score, the greatest dependence or the lowest autonomy. Blood tests for dementia screening were unremarkable, and Mrs. S was also submitted to a magnetic resonance examination. So what is the diagnosis here? So this lady was submitted to this brief cognitive screening battery, which we have been used in Brazil and in some other Latin American countries for many years now. Mrs. S was submitted to this battery, and the total brief cognitive battery screening battery score, she scored 50, and this score is composed by all the tests and all the steps of the memory test. So this is a very simple battery, and recently we have looked how this works in relation to AD diagnosis defined by CSF biomarkers. So this is a study that has been recently submitted. Battery performed well in differentiating Alzheimer's disease individuals from controls. So this lady, Mrs. S, on the figure memory test, just to remind you, she scored 4 out of 10, and her total BCSB score, battery score, was 50. This test and this battery, this kind of procedure, we believe can be used in primary care, at the primary care level. It's important to emphasize that in Latin America, the knowledge of general practitioners about cognitive impairment and dementia is low. So just to highlight and to illustrate this aspect, I present you this study published a few years ago by colleagues from the University of São Paulo in Brazil. And in a general outpatient clinic, among more than 3,000 older adult population, they took a random sample of 245. They did a cognitive screening and functional screening with the mini-mental state examination and with the IQ code. And they detected, after they performed neuropsychological assessment, and they detected 43 patients with cognitive impairment, MCI or dementia. And when they went to see what was the number of individuals that had information about cognitive impairment in their medical records, this was only 16%. There is a disproportionate disadvantage in access to diagnostic tools and care in Latin America. Development and implementation of basic guidelines and recommendations for diagnosis of dementia is an unmet need among general practitioners in the region. Research of new and low-cost biomarkers, for example, digital biomarkers, is necessary to overcome diagnostic challenges and to allow early disease detection. And finally, development of national dementia plans and greater involvement in research will raise awareness and knowledge, overcome barriers to proper management, and establish centers of excellence for better training of healthcare professionals in our continent.